Well, this is funny. This is good content.
I was about to go.
This is good. Hey!
Hey! Guys, we're live!
We are live.
Hey Ignite, welcome. We are live right now. We're so glad that you are here with us.
Wherever you're watching from, know that we love you and we're so glad that you are here with us.
We hope you're having a good week. Beaches are open, and that's exciting.
That was a great shot.
It's like right in the face.
Let us know what's going on. You can let us know where you are, what you're doing, how you're feeling here in the chat.
Comment in the chat how you guys are feeling.
Where you're watching from.
Send your favorite emoji, something that lets us know that you guys are watching right now.
Left, right, my left, your right. I think that we're going to have a great time tonight. Love that you're with us.
Whatever you're doing right now, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, follow us on Instagram. We want to connect with you. So do it. I'll give you like 2 seconds.
We're waiting.
There you go.
Right now.
Perfect. Good job.
I subscribed my grandma on the channel, so get on my level.
Hey, we're going to be featuring some more of our 8th grade students. We're going to go and listen in to an interview from a couple of our small group leaders and their 8th grade small group and hear what they have learned and what their experience has been like here at Ignite. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Hey everyone, my name's Molly. This is Cameron. We lead this awesome small group of girls, and they're the best. Woo! I'm so glad that we get to interview you guys. All right, I want to ask everyone to say what they love most about Ignite, just to start with like this icebreaker. Caroline, why don't you start us off?
Hi, I'm Caroline, and my favorite thing about Ignite is definitely like all the people. They're so welcoming and inviting, and they really just like push you to like pursue a relationship with God and just help you out, and I really love that.
That's so good.
Hi, I'm Maya, and my favorite thing about Ignite is also definitely like the community. It's very like nourishing, and they love you so much, and there's never like a judgy moment. So.
Hi, I'm Brooke. What I love most about Ignite was being able to learn about God in a safe, loving, fun environment, and of course the worship.
Hi, I'm Bridget, and I think the thing I love the most about Ignite is the message, because it really gets me motivated for the rest of the week to read my Bible and pray.
Hi, I'm Whitney, and my favorite part about Ignite is worship and getting to learn about Jesus in a fun way with your friends.
Hi, I'm Haley, and my favorite part about Ignite is being able to learn so much about God with such amazing people surrounding you who are just constantly pushing you towards Him.
Those are all such great reasons, girls. Caroline, what advice would you give to either like a 6th or a 7th grader or an incoming 6th grader? Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think that's a really good question. I would really say that like just make sure you know that like it's not cool to follow God. Like it's okay to like show people that like you have faith in Him. Like it's okay to like be religious, and like I know like that's something like I struggled with, like either like people making fun of me or like just not being confident in my faith. And like I feel like that's something that from 6th to 8th grade I've really grown in, and I would just like if I could go back and tell my 6th grade self that, or like any of like people that I know that are in younger grades, is like to just like really be comfortable in your own skin and like in your beliefs.
That's so good.
Yeah, That's really good. Okay, Brooke, who would you say is the most influential person from Ignite? Someone who was like really helpful through middle school? Yeah.
The most influential people to me in middle school are my small group leaders, Cam and Molly. In the summer of 6th grade, I went to Hume Lake. At Hume Lake, my counselors were Cam and Molly. Cam and Molly were the first people to introduce me to God. They have made such an impact in my life. Without them, I wouldn't be close with God, and my life wouldn't be the same. I was so blessed to have these girls as my counselors. They brought me closer to Jesus, and I am thankful to have these girls in my life.
We love you.
Thanks, we love you. Maya, Maya, do you have any advice for middle schoolers that you want to share?
I think a very important thing that I struggled with a lot was being open. I feel like I was very closed off, and I didn't really want to go out and venture out or make new friends, I guess. And it's really important because if I wasn't so, like, if I didn't learn to be open, I wouldn't be sitting here with this small group. I probably would be somewhere else. But it's very important that you stay open because everyone there wants to be friends with you. There's no one that like doesn't like you or doesn't want to help you get closer to God. And so I think that knowing that is very important. So
Yeah, that's so good. Haley, what is one of the most important lessons that you feel like that you've learned through Ignite or through Hume or worship?
One of the most important lessons that I've learned is to just like be yourself and really express what you believe in. And Ignite has taught me that so well, like way better than anything ever. And yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you everyone for doing this interview. You guys are the best small group ever.
you guys are the best.
You guys are the best
Follow us on Instagram.
Alpine 202.
Alpine 202.
Look at her go.
All right.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, girls. We love you and we're so proud of you. We're proud of all of you 8th graders and we can't wait to see what God does next in your lives.
Hey guys, we're going to continue this series of What I Know Now. What I Know Now looks back at our lives, and as you can see, we're doing it with our 8th graders and our seniors, looking back at the last few years at their school and saying, if I could tell any advice to a freshman, sophomore, junior, if I could tell any advice to a 6th grader or a 7th grader, this is what I would tell them. Because I know this now, and I wish I would have known it then. And I'm looking back at my life, and our counselors, our small group leaders, we're doing this. We're looking back and going, I know this now. For me, there's a few things. Man, I know now that Thai food is really good. I usually smelled it before, and I know that now. I know now that The Office is a great TV show to watch. It took me like years, and like friends being like, watch it, and me being like, no. And it took me a very long time to understand that I love it, what I know now. And I'm gonna be talking about contentment today, because this is something that took me a really long time to process and understand what biblical contentment means. And I'm still working on it, so contentment. If you don't know what contentment means, if you Google it, definition of contentment, it'll say that it's a state of happiness or satisfaction. So at the end of the day, if you had a long day, if you're just, I'm really content just laying on the couch and watching The Office. I'm really content sometimes if I'm just on the beach reading a book or in a hammock or whatever. I find so much contentment and satisfaction from that. Now it can look different for different people. My husband, he's really content after he does a hard workout. Like he walks in the room and he's like really sweaty and like kind of lightheaded and sore. And for some reason he's like, I just feel really content right now. I'm satisfied. And man, me sweaty and sore, not content, but he is that way. So contentment can look different for different people. I've been talking to recently a lot of seniors and a lot of people that are now like transferring to a different college. And right now colleges, they're closing, everything that's going on with them. Contentment in this situation can look different for different people. I went to a JC for 2 years, and then I commuted to where I got my undergrad. And I was really content with staying home. I loved it. I volunteered in my junior high ministry. I was part of a college group. I had a great community of people, and I loved staying at home, and I was content with that. But some people, dang, they are not content unless they are in a dorm room at the Ivy League best college there is or whatever, and our contentment looks different. And that's not a bad thing. But how do we understand what biblical contentment is that? Because in addition to that, dang, our culture, American culture, tells us that you have to have the best thing. That you have to be striving to be the best person you can be. And those are good things. But if I asked you who here is content, and if somebody like, oh, raise your hands, I can't see you, but like, if some of you raised your hands, I'd be like, oh, good for you, you've mastered contentment. But then also, there might be a part of you that's like, no, I'm not content. I am not gonna get content with a C when I can get a B or an A. I'm not gonna be content being on JV when I can make it into varsity next year. It's great to be those things, so how do you find what's the line of contentment? And also, in addition to that, we push for like non-contentment. Man, there's advertisements. The whole point of marketing is for us to tell ourselves that we don't have the next best thing and that we need something else. You won't be content unless you get AirPods. Like what? Those are ridiculous. You won't be content unless you have this. So how do we be content? Biblical contentment. And from that, we're going to be looking at this passage in Philippians. Philippians 4:10. If you have a Bible, just grab it, or if you want to open up your phone to look at it, this is a passage. What I know now is I've read it wrong for so long. What I know now is this is a passage about contentment. So let's look at it together. Philippians 4:10, some context of what we're reading. The author is this guy named Paul, and Paul is in prison. In prison, literally on his way to death row. This church in Philippi, they sent him a bunch of money and a helper to help him through this situation. And Paul is writing them from prison, thanking them for what they've done. All right, and so we're gonna look at, starting at verse 10, and it says, "Oh, how I praise the Lord that you are concerned about me. I know you have always been concerned about me, but you didn't have the chance to help. Now they have a chance to help because they sent money to him in prison." And in verse 11 it says, "Not that I was ever in need, for I have learned how to be content in whatever I have. I know how to live on almost nothing or with everything. I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it's with a full or empty stomach, with plenty or little. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Even so, you have done well to share with me in my present difficulty." So he's thanking these people for sending the money. Thank you for what you've done. But then he also kind of says, hey, thank you for doing this, but I want to tell you that I'm okay even if you had it. I'm content in where I am. And this is the first thing I want to talk about, is that contentment, as very clear in the passage, is that contentment is learned and not acquired. We aren't just born with contentment. Man, in the beginning of our life, we're not born with contentment, but it's a learned habit that we can teach ourselves. Paul, he says it here, right? In verse 11, he says, "For I was never in need, and I have learned to be content." In verse 12, "I have learned the secret of living." It's something that he learned to do. A practice that he had to evaluate his life over and over again and remind himself, to teach himself to be content. Man. And two, and this kind of goes hand in hand, is contentment is more about how you think than what you have. If we're going through a trial or a situation, contentment is how we learn how to process through it. It's independent of a circumstance. So if all of a sudden you're going through a hard time and all of a sudden quarantine is lifted and now you are content, that's not how it works. That's not, you don't all of a sudden become content because your circumstance has changed. All of a sudden your parents' marriage magically works up. If your grades magically turn from an F to an A, now you are content. No, instead it's a learned ability to look, no matter your circumstance, you can still be content. And dude, I've never been in jail before. That might come as a surprise to most of you. I've never been in jail before, but I've been looking at this character, this Paul. He is writing this from jail. And he's saying, I am still content with where I'm at. And he's been learned to be content in any situation. It's also not when you gain something. All of a sudden you gain you make it into your favorite school. All of a sudden you gain a spot on that video production team, or all of a sudden you get a new phone, then you're content. All of a sudden you get a boyfriend. Oh my gosh. And the amount of years I thought I would be content just because I was married. That's not what contentment is. And he looks at this verse, Philippians 4:13, and what I know now is this verse is about contentment. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. I've had this verse memorized since I was 9. When I was baptized, I was really cute, sweet little cute Ashley, 9-year-old, was like baptized in front of her whole church, and the pastor was like, what is your favorite verse? And I was like, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And as I said that, I thought that meant like literally I could do anything. I could fly because of Christ. I could conquer anything, any battle. I can get an A in any course. I could be the best, perfect human because of Christ who gives me strength. And that's what I thought it meant. And I was wrong. And I remember this one time I was a high adventure guide a couple years ago, and we were running a football camp. So all these football players came in and they were gonna do this high adventure course. And I'm leading this, and this like 300-pound boy comes up, and he's like on this football team, and he's gonna do this ropes course. And ropes courses, usually they take a lot of arm strength, and I was like, he's gonna struggle. And the whole entire ropes course, he just said, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. I can do all things through Christ. Just chanted Philippians 4:13 over and over again. And did he complete the ropes course? Absolutely not. He didn't. We had to lower him to the ground, even though he chanted that over and over again. And that's because this passage doesn't mean you literally can do things in Christ, but instead I can get through any circumstance because it's Christ who is my rock. Man, Jesus is the reason that I can get through anything. And this verse, it's about contentment. And that's the thing. The secret about biblical contentment is knowing who Jesus is. And no matter if this quarantine goes on for 6 more months, for 3 more years, no matter if you made it into your favorite school or the school you're planning on going to gets canceled, no matter what, if you're struggling through school right now or you are succeeding, you can be content because Jesus is what fulfills us. If you're watching this and you aren't a believer, man, Jesus' love for us and God, who he is to us, fulfills us in a way that's undescribable. That's who our God is. That, man, a guy even in prison can say he's fine because he knows who Jesus is. And I want to ask ourselves, can we be like Paul? Can we look at our lives and go, no matter the circumstance, if I am in need, if I'm stuck at home, if I am out, if I am full and content, if I'm rich or poor, man, if I'm liked or disliked, I'm content because of who God, Jesus says he is, and for my God that loves me. Just evaluate that, guys. Given the choice, I'd rather have everything and succeed and be able to do incredible things because I can do all things through Christ gives me strength. But what I know now is that's not what it's about. It's about loving him and putting God at the center of our lives, and I pray that we can just do that. All right, I love you guys. We're now gonna go into worship.
Hey everyone, so today we're singing a song called Only Wanna Sing, and normally we're in the sanctuary jumping up and down like crazy and having so much fun worshiping Jesus together. Today it's gonna look a little different because it's just my guitar and you're watching this on a screen, but I hope that you can listen to this song, that you can sing along if you want to, and remember how we were all in community at church, and we still are, even though it looks different right now in this season. And one day we'll be back again together worshiping, having so much fun together. And we can't all wait for that. We're so excited to be back with everyone, and I know that it may be hard right now, but I hope that you can listen to this song and remember the good times that we had and the great times we're gonna have ahead.
Chasing God to lift you high.
Thank you so much for worshiping with us this week.
But don't stop. I mean, we're going to go into our Zoom after parties right now, and we'd love for you to be there with us. The link is right here, so make sure that you type that in, and we'll see you there for a great time of fun. We're going to play a game, and then most importantly, you're going to connect with your life group leaders. They love you, they care for you, they want to do life together with you. Love you guys.
We love you guys so much.
We love you guys. Love you guys.
We love you.
We love you. We love you. We love you guys.
What? He literally already said it 5 times.
Just in case we forgot. I want them to know we love them.